Hello class, sorry I am not here today. My daughter is sick with a fever. So we are going to be doing some notes together. I don't foresee this stuff being too bad because we've kind of done graphing on the calculator before. You should have your notes packet open to the day 12 notes. You should also have your graphing calculator handy. If you don't have one, you can try and ask the sub if they have an extra one. There's ones in the bottom right drawers of my desk. A couple, not too many. Alright, let's get started. So we learned a long time ago how to do like 4x plus 2 equals x minus 4. You solve for x and you say x equals this, x equals that. Now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at something like this, x squared minus 3x, or plus 3x minus 4 equals 0. We're going to identify what the y1 and the y2 is, which we've done before, and then we're going to find all the second or the intersection points by doing second trace intersect, which we've also done many times before. If there's more than one intersection point, you'll have to do the second trace intersect as many times as there is an intersection point. So y1 will always just be the left side, x squared plus 3x minus 4, and y2 is going to end up being 0. Alright, so on our calculator, what we're going to do is we're going to type that in. So we're going to go to our y equals. You can clear out your y1. We've got x squared, and then we've got plus 3x, and then minus 4. Make sure you use a minus sign, not the negative sign. And y2 should be 0. Right? Just so that we're all on the same page, your window should be like so. Mins should be negative 10. Maxes should be positive 10. So if you need to, pause the video and make sure that it matches this. Once you have it typed in, you're going to hit graph, and you'll be able to see the two lines. If you have an older calculator, you might not see this x-axis line, but there is a line through the x-axis and then this parabola. So let's draw a picture of it. Alright, you got this, and then obviously the line kind of going across here. The two places where they intersect is here and here. So those are the 2 points that we need to find on our calculator. We're going to do second trace intersect, number 5, and you'll see your blinking cursor. You need to move your cursor close to the point that you want to find first. So you can either move it left, I'm going to do this one over here on the left, or you can move it to the right, closer to the other one. So once your cursor is kind of close, you're going to hit enter once, twice, 3 times. And you get negative 4, 0. If your y doesn't have 0 and it has something like an e in it, some crazy numbers with an e in it, that means 0. So don't ever write e on your quiz or your test. Negative 4, if you have negative 4 point a bunch of zeros after it, it's negative 4. If you have negative 3.99999, it's negative 4. So you should have got negative 4, 0. So we're going to label it on our graph, negative 4, 0, and we're going to find the other one, second trace, number 5, and this time I'm going to go to the right. Remember, you can hit the up and down arrow to switch between the two lines. I hit the up arrow so that I could be on the x-axis, so that it's a little bit quicker to get to instead of going down and all the way around. Once I'm close, I hit enter 3 times. And this one should be 1, 0. And again, if you get 0.9 repeating or 1.000, that's 1. If your y has an e in it, that's also 0. So we've got 1, 0. And then the solution is just, we're only interested really in the x's. So the answer is going to be x equals negative 4 and x equals 1. So you can list it like that, or write as 2 separate, x equals negative 4, x equals 0. X equals 1. Alright, let's go down to the next one. For the next one, you got your y1 is the left side, x cubed minus 5x squared minus 2x plus 24. y2 is going to be 0. And we're going to type that in our calculator. So we go to our y equals, clear out the y1. We've got x to the third. Hit the right arrow so the cursor is nice and big again. Not minus 5x squared minus 2x plus 24. Alright, make sure your minus is nice and long like this, not teeny tiny like the negative sign. That's a negative sign. You don't want that. Alright, and then the y2 is 0. And we're going to hit graph so we can see what this thing looks like. And you'll notice that top of it is kind of cut off. If you really want to zoom out a little bit so you can see it better, you certainly can do that, especially since we're drawing a picture. But the points that we're really interested in is here, here, and here. But just so we can get an idea of what it looks like up there, if we go to your window, remember y's go up and down. So we need to go up, so we would want to change our y max to something other than 10. So let's try, I don't know, 25. Let's try that and see if that works. If I hit graph, you can see it now. So I changed the y max to 25. Now we get a better view of what the graph looks like. We can draw a nicer picture of it. So something like this. And we've got 3 places where we need to find the intersection. So we're going to do second trace number 5, and then I'm going to move my cursor furthest to the left. And once it's close to that point, I'm going to hit enter 3 times, and you get negative 2, 0. Alright, so this point here is negative 2, 0. We'll label that on our graph. And then we still have 2 more to go. So we're going to do second trace number 5, and I'm going to move my cursor. I'm going to move it onto the x-axis so it's a little bit quicker. And I'm going to move it to the next point. And once it's kind of close, you can hit enter 3 times. Once my calculator decides to stop moving. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. And you get 3, 0 for that point. 3, 0. And then the last point, second trace number 5. And we're going to move it over here to the farthest right. Hit enter 3 times. And this one you're going to get 4, 0. Okay, and again, if any of those were off by a smidge, you should be fine. We get negative 2, 3, and 4. Those are the only numbers we're interested in. Notice there's no y's in the original equation, so we're not interested in the y's. We're only interested in the x's. Alright, so that's that. Let's go to the next page. Same deal, solve by graphing. For each problem, sketch the graph, find and label the coordinates of all points that represent the solutions, and round to the nearest hundredth. So on this side, we're going to have some not so nice numbers. Let's see. So let's look at number 3. With number 3, we have our y equals is going to be 5/3. So you're going to do 5 divided by 3, x to the 3rd power, and then minus 10x. And then on the y2, it's going to be negative 4. Alright, so it's not 0 this time. And if you want to change your window back to the, the y max of just being 10 instead of 25, you can do that. If you want to leave it at 25, you can do that too. But when you hit graph, you're going to see this picture and a red line, or on yours it might be black, line going right through it. So we're going to draw the sketch of it. So it looks like this, and then we have a line going through it like this. So there is a total of 1, 2, 3 points that we need to find. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do second trace intersect 3 times. So I'm going to bounce to the horizontal line by hitting the down arrow. And I'm going to move it over to the far left first. And once I'm close, I'm going to hit enter 3 times. And this one, we get negative 2.629. So if you round that, that's negative 2.63. So negative 2.63, comma, negative 4. So that's the point there. And then we're going to do it again. Second trace, number 5. So I'm going to hop down to the horizontal line by hitting the up or down arrow and moving it to the right. And once I'm close, I'm going to hit enter 3 times. Once, twice, 3 times. And this one's negative, or it's positive, 0.4116. So it'll be 0.41 and negative 4. When you label the graph, I am interested in both the x and the y. It's just the answer. I'm only interested in the x. And now we're going to do it a 3rd time. Second trace intersect. And if we move over to the far right, hit enter 3 times, once, twice, 3 times, we're going to get 2.217, so that'd be 2.22, negative 4. So 2.22, negative 4. And then where it says solutions, you're only going to write down the x's. So it'll be negative 2.63, 0.41, and 2.22. So the intersection points, you need both x and y, but the solutions, all we're interested in is the x, because that's all that's included in the original problem, are just x's. So we have that. Let's see, what other one do we want to do? Let's look at number 6. So we're going to kind of bounce around a little bit. With number 6, you have your y1 is the left side and your y2 will be the right side. So we're going to go into our y1 and y2. And if we go to our y1, we clear it out. We have negative 1/3 x squared. Oops, I hit the wrong button. X squared, delete, and x squared. There we go. Oop. Nope, I'm having calculator issues. Delete. Alright, so there we go. Negative 1/3 x squared plus 9. And then the other one, the y2, will be my right side, 2 divided by 5x. Be very careful, make sure you don't miss any variables, any exponents, negatives, because that can really mess you up. Alright, we're going to hit graph, and you'll see a parabola and a straight line going through it. So we end up having two places where they intersect. So let's draw this out. So it looks like this. And we're going to need to find this point and this point on our calculator. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do second trace, number 5. And I'm going to hop over to the straight line and kind of go left. I'll find the one on the left side first. And once you're kind of close, you're going to hit enter 3 times. So once, twice, 3 times, and you get negative 5.8306, etc. So negative 5.83, again you're rounding to the nearest hundredth, and then y is negative 2.33. So we got negative 5.83 and negative 2.33. So it looks like that. Then we get to do it again for the other one. Second trace, number 5. I'm going to hop onto the straight line, kind of go right. And my calculator is really slow. Once I get there, I'll hit enter 3 times. Alright, I think that's close enough. And I'm going to hit enter 3 times. Once, twice. Oh, what is my calculator doing? Okay, so you get 4.63 and 1.85. So 4.63 and 1.85. 4.63, 1.85. So that's your intersection point. And then your solutions are only the x's. So it's going to be negative 5.83 and 4.63. Those are your 2 answers. Right? So I think you get the main idea. Just plot your y1, your y2, do second trace intersect a million times, and if you need to change your window. But that is the main idea for today's notes. We'll do more of it on Monday, and then just be aware Tuesday is a quiz. So the quiz will cover all this graphing stuff, and then the stuff we learned yesterday, which is like the moving the graph up, down, left, right, and reflecting it. Alright, the homework tonight is worksheet number 10, so go ahead and work on that for the rest of the time, and then if you do finish it in class, just find something quiet to do and you'll be all set. Alright, thank you, have a good weekend.